Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're just going to run through a Q&A. Firstly, I'd like to start by saying thank you for anyone that sent in a question, and I'll try my best to get through them all now. So growing up, I was fairly sporty, doing a lot of different sports, so didn't really specialise in anything, just tried my hand at a lot of different things. So during primary school, there wasn't really a night in the week that I wasn't doing some sort of activity, if not two. So my parents are busy shipping us between sports clubs. Like the main ones being like cricket, rugby, skiing, golf, korfball, just to name a few that spring to mind. And then I probably did my first triathlon around the age of 9. My dad was doing some marathon running and then wanted a bigger challenge. I started doing Ironman, which led to me doing my first triathlon. I didn't really do any specific training for it. I just had some swim trunks, a mountain bike, some run trainers, and just took part. And then I probably did a handful between sort of 9 and 13, but not seriously. I kind of realised I enjoyed the road cycling, so started to take up the road cycling, joined a local club, as well as riding with my uncle, and with the aim to sort of take up road cycling, doing some crit races and road races. And then sort of around the age of 16, 17, one of my dad's good friends set up a local tri club in the area, which I started to get involved with, and then ended up doing my first sprint distance triathlon around that sort of age. Still just, not very good, just taking part. And then that kind of went from just doing a bit of sprint triathlon, doing sprint age group worlds in Edmonton in 2014, and then I started doing a few Olympic distance, just for like fun really. And then in 2017 was when I kind of really decided to give triathlon a go. I did a few middle distance races. At the end of 2017, I started working with my coach Chris, and that's where sort of the aim of gaining my professional license sort of started really. And then from there, that's been the focus. So I was lucky enough, like last year, 2019, to gain that. With this year, I was meant to be my debut pro year, but we'll see what happens there. So in terms of my training, it's been something that we've built up over the years. So like now, well, before coronavirus, when we were able to swim, I was probably doing between 18 and 22 hours a week, split roughly as sort of 6-7 hours swimming, 10-ish hours on the bike, and then like 4 to 5 hours running, and 2 45-minute to an hour S&C sessions. So in terms of running, I probably do around 50 to 70k a week. So not a huge amount, and it varies just depending on how I'm feeling. So quite a lot of my sessions are just based around time. That distance will vary depending on how I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling good, I'll maybe run at sort of 4-10-minute Ks for steady runs, whereas it may be like 5-minute Ks. So there's a big range there. In terms of how that's split throughout the week, I do a double run on the Tuesday. So just start with like a 40-minute steady run first thing, then track session in the evening with the run club, Swansea Harriers. And then I'll do just a couple of other steadier runs throughout the week before a Saturday session with the club again, and then a long run sort of up to 90 minutes at the weekend. We sort of found this year that like I don't really need to do much tempo running, sort of like the shorter, higher intensity effort seems to work quite well for me, and it still doesn't really affect my sustained running speed. So still able to run fast over half marathon. So I think a big step in terms of my development was starting working with Chris, my coach, at the back end of 2017. So we've been working together for nearly three years now. I think before that I was just sort of doing stuff off my own back, but was lacking consistency really. So just go long periods of not really training that much. So I think getting a coach and being like a lot more consistent with my training has been a big factor. And then with that, it's been like the more specific testing, like going to the labs, doing the testing there, learning about my physiology and how we can implement that to get the most out of myself and the training that I'm doing. And as well, building up a good support team around myself, and obviously Chris has built up a good team around him, so he's working closely with like physiologists, physios, S&C coaches, to help him do the best job he can. And then also with that, again, I'm working with a physio closer to home, and got supportive friends and family. Yeah, good question. I think initially I found it like quite hard. I enjoy the racing, that's why I do it. So not having that sort of end goal to focus on during training made it quite tough mentally. But I've been training throughout. Like I've kind of taken the view of there's no need to be like super fit right now when there's not any races happening. So I've just been ticking over really. Focusing on the weaknesses and where I need to like improve as an athlete. Just thinking about that sort of long-term development, but I've not been smashing out the hours like too much, and just doing what I was doing beforehand. Focusing on just not getting ill for one, not getting injured either, because there's no physios that we have access to at the minute. Just doing the same as I was doing before, and just sort of kind of being kind to myself on the days where I'm struggling a bit mentally. First off, I'd like to try and catch the niggle early. So just consistency is always key. So I'd rather have a couple of days off now, initially, and try and just let the injury settle through rest, rather than sort of pushing through it and making it worse and end up having a longer layoff. One would just be to have like belief in the training I've been doing. I don't need to be chasing fitness. Like just having a couple of days off here or there is better than having a longer layoff. If it does progress and it's not settling through rest, I'd then get in touch with my physio at Swansea Health Solutions. They've been like very good in supporting me the last beginning of the years when I started working with them. I'd go and see a physio to get the injury assessed and know where to go from there. Also, I do a fair bit of pre-session mobility and foam rolling and activation just to prime my body for the exercise to come, and also just make sure I'm nice and mobile before the session just to eliminate that risk. No, I didn't come up with this protocol. That was Chris working alongside the physiologist to come up with this test. So they'll probably be able to answer this question better than myself, but I'll try and give it a go. But if you have any further questions, yeah, feel free to get in touch with them, and they'll be happy to explain it for you. But in short, the 1 minute test, going up in 6%. So you take the 1 minute max average power at the end, and you just take 75% of that to give an FTP. Whereas the 3 minute stages we're looking at is mainly just around trying to find a VO2 max power. So you take the average of the last completed stage and a percentage of the stage that you failed on to find that value. But using the 3 minute stages, it's probably got more of an anaerobic contribution, whereas the 1 minute stages, your sort of overall value is probably going to be slightly inflated due to more anaerobic contribution there. The research sort of suggests that both tests are going to give a similar VO2 max peak anyway. So by doing the 3 minute test, it's going to be more specific to sort of long course racing, and it's also more sensitive to changes. I'll link to a study in the description to kind of explain this better than I am right now, so you can look there and read up on it. Yeah, so in short, cadence isn't really something that I look at too much. I just sort of ride at whatever feels natural, unless sort of Chris sets me a session where like I'm meant to be doing some like over gear, strength focused, then I will look at cadence just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing there. But yeah, in racing, I don't really look at it too much. So currently living in Swansea in Wales. We've been here for just over 4 years. Moved here because Hannah was doing her medical training at Swansea Uni, so that's all brought us to this part of the world. But yeah, in terms of triathlon training, it's a great place to live. In terms of swimming, we're like very local to Wales National Pool. So we've got a great 50-metre swimming pool nice nearby. It's also going to be split into 25 metres, so we've got a good mix of short and long course swimming. Also, like we're on the Gower, so we've got lots of lovely little bays to swim in for open water as well. In terms of biking, yeah, not shy of a hill around Wales, so plenty of hilly rides. Probably the only downside is there's probably a lack of sort of places to do some nice long consistent TT stretches where you're just holding consistent power. So either like travel a bit to do those sort of sessions when we're able to, or stick to the indoor trainer. Yeah, and then in terms of running, again, fairly close to a track, so can do a good mix of track sessions. We've got a nice long stretch of shared cycle path, which is nice and flat to do other sessions on. And then we've also got miles and miles of sort of just rolling, hilly, coastal path, nice and scenic along the cliffs and trails. whatever's in sight first. Hello, you right? Maybe some avocado on toast with bacon. Yeah. Well, I guess nothing's naughty in moderation, really, but I'm pretty susceptible to a nice big bag of salted crisps.
Would you say you ate those in moderation?
I was just getting to that. But yeah, I wouldn't really say it was a treat if because I probably have them a bit too regularly. Probably have to say Aberfeldy middle distance. Not due to the fact that I won it, but obviously that's a bonus. I think on a nice clear sunny day, that'd be like a really stunning race, like great scenery on the bike course. Yeah, I imagine that'd be pretty spectacular on some glorious weather.
We didn't have glorious weather though, did we?
No, we didn't. It pissed it down the whole day. Yeah, hopefully by pursuing triathlon as a career, I'll be able to travel and race most places around the world throughout my time as a triathlete. But Alfie, little shit. I'd say it'd have to be Australia. Like, it's a place I've not been to visit, but somewhere I'd definitely like to go and visit. And they sort of embrace triathlon out there, and it seems, yeah, a great place to do triathlon and swim, bike, run. So yeah, probably like to go to Australia to race at some point. Swim, bike, or run to do for the rest of my life. I'd probably choose cycling because it's kind of the one I enjoy the most. Kind of what got me into triathlon for like the long run. Yeah, I'm not a fan of swimming, and although running seems to be like what I'm best at out of the three, I can't find it quite hard to motivate myself to get out and run, to be honest. So probably biking, and it's just nice to go out and ride your bike and explore. You can travel the furthest, so you can get to see a lot more of the world by bike. So yeah, probably cycling. So Alfie is our 1.5-year-old cockapoo, the life and soul of this household. Right now he's due a groom, so his hair is probably curlier than mine right now. He loves his tummy tickles.
You right down there, Alf?
Probably either Christian Blumenfeld or Starkey. They both look like tanks to me and could take on most triathletes, I reckon. Oh no, one at a time, jeez. One at a time?
Oh.
You can throw... Oh no, because I'm not going to be able to like balance it on my head.
1, 2, 3.
I think you should maybe just pass and... Oh, hello.
4. Oh, it's a PB. 5. 6. Need to go the other way, so that tab facing forwards now to balance it out. Oh, I think this is the.
Oh,
You got 6, is that?
that's the one that fell off. We don't
I'll
have
pass
to
you
get
another
it.
one.
We don't have to get the gel.
7. I don't think you can do any more.
So yeah, that's a wrap. So thank you for watching this video. If you've got any other questions, then just drop them in the comments. But for now, catch you later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. And yeah, stay tuned for some future videos.